Hey guys, it's Kelly. Hey, this is my creepy design team project for Designs by Ryn. And it's a Halloween tag. And I love how it turned out, and you won't believe how easy it is. I got it down to just under 13 minutes. So what I did, I cut a lot of little pieces out, but that little piece of paper that I'm using is design paper, and I cannot remember what stack it's from. It was in my scraps. It was in my my leftover pieces. So I just cut it and used some other Halloween stamps that I've had in my stash for a really long time. That candle one I stamped on that paper. The swirly design I thought was really cool, and I knew I wanted to put a candle and a skull looking thing on there. So I just cut it to a tag size and used my corner chomper and chomped it and made it look like a tag. And then I used those Marvy markers. I've had those for like 3-4 years, probably more like 4 years. And oh my gosh, I've hardly ever used them, and lately that's all I want to use. They were pretty affordable too, I think. But it was so long ago, I can't remember. But I was just painting on some yellow highlights on the flame for the candle. And then tried to brush on some color onto my creepy looking skull. I wound up just coloring it straight on there, but I wanted some different shades, like some yellowish orange, just to kind of go from light to dark. And he looks creepy. He doesn't glow or anything, but that would have been really cool. You know what? I should do that because I have some glow-in-the-dark nail polish. I might do that. Maybe I'll revisit it. But anyway, so yeah, just painting some color on, and then it wasn't going on very good, even though that was a really good thick watercolor paper that I stamped my skull onto. Kind of wasn't going on very well. So, oh well, I want to just coloring it straight on there. Yeah, just dried them off, getting ready for Halloween. You know what, I'm going to have to share my video of what we were last year. Steve and I were stick people. It was hilarious. I have to post that, because I only posted it to friends and family. But maybe I'll share it with everybody. It was so easy and so much fun, but oh my gosh, we were laughing so hard. It was a big hit. I guess it was such a big hit last year that everybody at my friend's house in Maricopa, Arizona, I guess they're all going to be stick families. I can't wait to see what they come up with. It's going to be awesome. But yeah, so the eyes got a little dulled, and I wanted them nice and pitch black dark, so I used my Faber-Castell Pitt pen marker on it and hit the outsides with some archival, because I wasn't sure if I was going to put any more wet medium on that skull. I'm glad I used archival now, because now I can go over the glow-in-the-dark nail polish. Interesting. I might have to do that. So, yeah, and then because it was design paper, you know, the black was just kind of lacking that really darkness, you know, and I thought about putting on some enamel that I had, and it's like a raised enamel. I thought about putting that on there, but I wanted to keep it really, really simple and keep the focus on the blood drips, which are really cool. So what am I doing? Oh, I tried just the single drop and coloring it and kind of messing around with it. And this is the Trickling Water Set. It's the 2-piece set, and of course I'll have the link in the description bar. But the set of 3, because it has this stamp right here that I'm using that has like 3 in a row, and then it has one single one, which is really convenient. And so, I mean, they all go really well together, where you have the freedom to put just one single droplet down without, you know, worrying about inking the whole thing. But this group of 3 worked out perfect for this size. So first I used some Distress ink. I think that's Barn Door, and was painting it on there. I was like, nope, it does not look like blood. It looks like I'm trying too hard to make it look like blood, so I just went straight for it and just did the Marvy marker just right on there. And the ink wound up working out really, really well. So I just colored all those in and made it really creepy. I wasn't sure if I was going to use that stamp or not. You know, I wasn't sure where I was going with it, but I found that design paper and thought, ooh, that's nice. I got to do a Halloween tag. And then the bloody drips came to mind when I saw the skull. It makes great blood drips. I'm thinking now maybe I should have done... You know what? Hindsight's always really clear, right? When you're looking at your project after the fact. I should have done some blood splatters all over it. It would have taken away. I don't know. I kind of like things neat and tidy. So, and that's my white. I'm still using my Jelly Roll pen. You know, it works. I mean, out of all the ones I've tried, that's the only one that I get the most success out of. So I just figure I'll use that one until it's done, and then I'll buy another one. The Sigma one is supposed to be really good from what everybody's saying. There's lots of good options out there that I didn't even know about. So there we go, I'm liking it. And the candle needed something, and then I grabbed my marker, and yeah, I thought I grabbed purple. Nope, I grabbed blue. But by the time I started, it was too late. So the candle's blue. I love the purple and orange for Halloween. I love that combination. I love it all the time, but for this, it would have been really cute. But the blue wound up working out just fine. So I just did the candle all in that rich blue color, and then made the wax orange. I don't know why, just because it was colorful. And then the candlestick was just kind of blending into the background too much. It wasn't really showing up, so I used my gray Marby marker and just kind of colored it in, and that was just enough to make it, help it stand out. It didn't need to be all black, that would have ruined it, but the gray definitely worked out. So I was just adding a few last bits of color on there, and look, I almost inked the Velcro. That was funny, laughing at myself. So anyway, as I always do, I am framing it in with inking the edges. I just think that finishes things off so nicely. And what am I doing now? Oh, I think I'm getting a pop dot. Yeah, I just popped up the skull on there. Again, it was so easy. I think this tag took me 35 minutes. I mean, I fussed over getting the water drops just right on a separate sheet of paper, but other than that, it was like 45 minutes tops to do this. And there's a sheet of paper where I was fussing. I love those drops. They look cool no matter what you do. But I was just using that scrap paper to do my creepy sentiment. And that's just I've had that stamp and some holiday stamps for the longest time. It's got like some bugs on it and says ew and stuff like that. So, and this tag was looking pretty creepy to me, so that word worked for me. So, and I just had some, and I used to, you know, this is all from my stash. The papers that I used, all of it's from my stash. I say my stash, but my drawer full of bits and pieces of paper that are left over from other projects I've done. And I always try to dig into those when I'm doing tags and art journal pages and stuff like that. I always try and dig into there and just use that stuff up, because it's good stuff. Just sit in my drawer all lonely. So I just grabbed my ATG gun and glued that sucker right on there. And grabbed a long strip of foam tape. Not a really long one, but I knew I was going to have it hang off the edge, so I just used it just enough to keep it on the tag. I stuck it on and went for it. Didn't fuss too much. But again, because it was design paper, the blackness of it wasn't sharp enough for me. It needed to be more crisp. So I sped this up real quick. I just used my black pit marker and went over it. It wasn't perfect, and I was totally okay with that. So it's kind of like vines and creepy looking, vein looking stuff in the background there. So I just colored it all in just to make it pop a little bit more off the page, because it was just too, it was kind of gray, and I wanted it nice and sharp and crisp and really, really black. So, and it's a subtle difference, but I noticed it. So, and then I wanted a little bit more shadows on the reflections of the blood drips. So, and I didn't want to put it right on there because I think that would have overdone it. So what I do when I just want it really subtle and more gray, I take my charcoal pencil and I just put it on a piece of scrap paper and then use my blending stump and load the blending stump with the dust that's left over and do it that way. And I like that. That's my technique for a more subtle look. Now I don't know if it's right or wrong. You know, I'm not a professional artist. I've never taken a single class in my life, so I just figure this stuff out as I go. That's what works for me. I don't know if that's right or wrong, but that's how I'm doing it. And I like it, so it might be a better way, but I just wanted it subtle. I didn't want it, you know, big old charcoal pen on there and big shadows. So what I decided to do, because they looked like creepy vines, I put like little squiggle lines so it looks like worms coming out of that stuff. Now I don't know if that's what people are going to think when they see it, but that was kind of my intention. So I didn't like do these perfect little white dots. They're squiggly like little worms coming out. And of course some reflection marks there. Yeah, little squiggle marks. I feel like it'll left that out, but oh well. I have a thing about, you know, let's not overdo it too much, and then sometimes I wind up underdoing it in some people's opinion, but I think it's cool. I really like how this tag turned out. I had so much fun doing it too. And it was super easy. So there it is, just a little bit more shadowing with the edges. And then I said, oh, I'm done. And I said, oh, no, wait. I put some highlights on the letters, coming from the same direction as the highlights that are hitting the blood drips. And then I called it done. But what you missed was I just matted it with some orange cardstock and hit it with blacks that are around the edges, and then took a small piece of tulle and just glued it in between the tag and the mat in the back. So I hope you guys like it. Thank you so much for watching, and go check out Ryn's store and buy those stamps. And there'll be more to come. Thanks!